y'all. I said, what's up, y'all? Look at me when I'm talking to you, bro. Nah, I'm just messing with y'all, man. This your boy Knockout Boxing 86 TV, and we in here. So check this out. Before I get going on the video, hit my like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new here, share the video, turn on your notifications, and don't forget that we live Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday night at 7:30 p.m. Central Time. And you can also catch us live every Sunday morning with the Singing OG KQKC Boxing Network, Sunday morning, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. But let's get it cracking and get into our video. Oh yeah, bro, and drop super chats and super thanks when you come by the live streams and the videos to help support the channel. And hit me up if you want to debate in the TKO debate series, knockoutboxing86 yahoo.com. Now let's get it cracking. Errol Spence did an interview on Hot Boxing with Mike Tyson yesterday. I just watched it and we gotta talk about it. Look, bro, the Pivot Podcast interview was better. That was the first thing I thought while watching it. Mike Tyson, you know, he got that. It's Mike, bro. He crazy. He'll say anything. He off the cuff with it, and it's fun. You know, but in this interview, you know, they cut Earl off a lot. Really ain't let him get his answers out and shit. And just kind of, you know, it didn't flow as good as the Pivot Podcast. So far, the Pivot Podcast for both Earl and Bud Crawford, I think, was the best interviews they done gave on this press run. But we still was able to take some things from it. We were still able to take some things from it. The key thing that I got listening to Earl, bro, in that interview, he got the aura of a man that know what he about to go out there and do. If you see how laid back he is, how confident he is, how he talk about winning, you know what I'm saying? He got it. And then Mike Tyson said, we got the undisputed champion of the world, Errol Spence Jr. here. Earl said, yeah, that's right, speaking into existence. I am the undisputed champion. He said, well, you the undisputed champion in my book. Earl like, yeah, I know. Go ahead. Say that shit. I'm like, yeah, Earl. Yeah, Earl. Do that thing, boy. Talk that shit, boy. Talk that shit, boy. So I like that shit to start the interview. The main thing, though, bro, this Shawn Porter shit. This Shawn Porter, Terence Crawford, Kenny Porter, Errol Spence. So Mike Tyson, he said he think Bud gonna win because of the Shawn Porter fight. He saw the Shawn Porter fight, saw what Earl did with Shawn, he saw what Bud did with Shawn, and he picking Terence to win based off of that fight. And you know Earl, bro, he listening to everything. He listen to everything, and he don't give clearly. People can just say, man, I don't give a damn who it is. I'm gonna speak my mind. But he clearly showing you that, bro, I don't give a damn. And Mike Tyson, hey Mike, what you had said this, bro? What's up? And so Earl asked him about that shit, bro. When Mike had said, I got Terence Crawford winning that fight because I saw what he did with Shawn Porter. I saw what Earl would do with Shawn Porter, so I'm picking Bud, right? So Earl, like, he said, say it, man. You said you think. He said, you know, Earl, they was getting towards the end of the interview. He say, now let me ask you a question. You looking at Mike. Now let me ask you a question. You said you think Bud gonna win because of the Shawn Porter fight. Mike was like, yeah, I said that. Cause you know Mike, shit, we talking about Earl. Mike ain't finna just back down and shit. He gonna let you know what he said. He gonna let you know what he think. Earl said, well, you know, Shawn Porter was a shell of himself, and he went into how Shawn Porter looked trash against Sebastian Formella, how his daddy stopped the fight, and how his own daddy said he didn't train, all that shit, blah, 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 right? And Mike Tyson was like, yeah, and I like Mike's response. I'm not gonna hold you, bro. I'm not getting up in front of this motherfucking line of y'all, bro. I'm like, I like that Mike Tyson was like, yeah, that's cool, but come on, Earl. Then he asked Earl daddy, he was like, would you ever say that about your son? His daddy said, no, sir. And he like, see that what I'm talking about. He like, that's an excuse. That's an excuse. You took away from the fighters. You took credit from the fighters when you did that because you put that excuse out there and you basically took credit away from the fight. He said you just need to say the better man won and keep it moving. I'm like, damn. Damn, Mike. That's some real shit, boy. I like that shit. But I like Earl, like, checking him on it, too. Like, I like that little back and forth because it showed two alphas, you know what I'm saying, men's men, letting each other know how they felt, agreeing to disagree, and then keeping it pushing and still having a great interview, still laughing about it, and still, you know, getting game and shit, right? That was the biggest part of the interview for me. But here's the thing, bro. A lot of people talk about this Shawn Porter, Errol Spence, Shawn Porter, Terence Crawford shit, right? And regardless of what his daddy say, bro. Regardless of what his daddy say, here's what we know. Here's what we know, bro. All I know is this. Errol Spence fought Shawn Porter in 2019 when Shawn Porter was a champion. Shawn Porter was trying to gain legacy. He was trying to unify. He was trying to hold on to his belt when he fought Errol Spence. They fought in 2019, like September, October 2019. Somebody, correct me in the comment section. It was that fall, though, like September, October of 2019 they fought. He fought Bud Crawford 2 years later, bro, in November of 2021, when he wasn't a champion. He was just a challenger. He was 2 years older. He was coming off the tough, grueling fight that he had with Errol Spence and the camp that he had with Errol Spence. So we're not going to act like age don't matter, bro. And that's what I try to tell Bud Crawford fans all the time when it comes to this conversation. Like, that shit sound cool. He got the stoppage. He didn't get the stoppage. Oh, Kenny Porter was just making an excuse. Let's say, I don't know Kenny Porter to be a liar and shit. But let's say that he was making an excuse. Let's say that Kenny Porter was making a goddamn excuse, bro. And that he just was trying to save face. And that Bud was going to put him to sleep and he would really hurt. Let's say all the shit that we hear Terence Crawford for. Let's just say that it's true for the sake of this conversation we having on this video, bro. Just say that shit is true. At the end of the day, he still fought a lesser version of Shawn Porter than what Errol fought. Just like Errol fought a lesser version of Shawn Porter than what Keith Thurman fought. Hell, Errol fought a lesser version of Danny Garcia than what Keith Thurman fought. You want to talk about Kell Brook? Hell, Shawn Porter fought the best version of Kell Brook out of all of them. But Kell Brook was a better version of himself when Errol fought him than he was when Terence Crawford fought him. That ain't hating on him. That's just Father Time is undefeated, bro. People be acting like Father, like all these sayings and shit. And that's what I tell people y'all gonna learn about this fight right here. All of these sayings, people try to forget them when they come to their favorite fighter. Like, so Father Time is undefeated, right? It's undefeated until you want to argue on behalf of Terence Bud Crawford when you talk about Errol Spence and Terence Crawford's resume. Then all of a sudden, Father Time don't matter. The 2.5 years that Kell Brook was out of the division, the 2 eye surgeries he had been through, the fact that his own trainer was like, you can't even fight at 147, you won't be ready. Dominic Ingle refused to train him for the Terence Crawford fight. All of these facts get missed on them just because they want to argue on behalf of Kell Brook being as good as he was or better when he fought Terence Crawford than when he fought Errol Spence, and just neglect all of those facts. They want to leave those alone. Same thing with Shawn Porter, bro. He was a champion when Errol fought him. He was 2 years younger when Errol fought him. He trained his ass off for the Errol fight, and he admittedly was not listening to his father in training camp for the Terence Bud Crawford fight, and he had nothing to lose, and it ended up being his last fight, and he just bowed out. And he was doing the Porter Way podcast and all kinds of shit when he was fighting. Like, that's not hate, that's just the truth, bro. But again, everybody agrees that Father Time is undefeated unless you're trying to argue this one situation right here. So I thought that was interesting in the interview. The other thing that people forget that I think they'll be reminded of, which leads me to these last 2 points, and I'll make them, and then we'll get to the next video. So that Shawn Porter shit about Father Time being undefeated that I just said, bro, and when Errol brought that up, it got me to thinking, and I spoke on this very briefly last night, and people are going to remember, like, with Terence Crawford and Errol Spence, a lot of y'all, bro, when it come to breaking down this fight, you're forgetting age-old adages that have been proven true throughout boxing. The good bigger man always beats the good bigger little man, or the great big man beats the great little man when 2 fighters are great. The jab being the most important punch in boxing. Errol has the better jab. Work rate being extremely important in winning rounds and breaking down your opponent. Body work being, like, all of these things that we know that have been true throughout boxing, everybody wants to forget them for this fight. You want to forget them for this fight and act as if They don't exist. Skills pay the bills. Errol Spence displays more skill, more fundamentals than Bud Crawford. Bud Crawford just does what he does off of instinct and athleticism. Y'all are going to learn. You would think that Antonio Tarver versus Roy Jones Jr. taught you that. You would think that. You would think watching the career of Tim Duncan versus the career of Kevin Garnett, you would think that people would learn that in sports, but that's okay. What you will be reminded of, bro, on July 29th, 2 days from today, at the time I'm making this video, you will be reminded that the great big man beats the great little man. You will be reminded that the jab is the most important punch in boxing. You will be reminded that body work break your ass down. And you will be reminded that work rate makes it extremely hard for you to win rounds against. And you will also be reminded that having a great chin and durability is always going to be one of the most important things. Because if you can't take what's coming your way, your ass can't win the fight. Y'all gonna see. Let me know what y'all think, though. Comment below, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, share the video, turn on your notifications. Don't forget we live Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday night at 7:30 p.m. Central Time. Appreciate y'all watching. Enjoy the rest of y'all night. And with that, we out of here. Peace out, y'all.